Hello friends, welcome to Legal Learning. So in this video I'm going to revise the second part of Indian Evidence Act, rapid revision. I have already made another video revising Indian Evidence Act. Now this is the second part. It will be helpful the day before exam. Okay, so first of all I'm going to start with section 5 to 16 at first. Section 5 deals with evidence may be given of facts in issue and relevant facts. Facts in issue and relevant facts. So the evidence may be given under section 5 to 55 under circumstances mentioned in section 5 to 55. Section 6 deals with res gestae, act forming part of the same transaction. Section 7 is occasion, cause and effect. OCE, occasion, cause and effect. OCE, occasion, cause and effect. 8 is motive, preparation and conduct, previous and subsequent. 9 is relating to fact necessary to explain and introduce relevant facts, which is the test identification period. 10 is relating to conspiration to writers in reference to their common design, things said and done by conspirators in reference to their common design. Section 11 is residuary section, deals with the plea of alibi. 12 is suit for damages. Facts tending to enable court to determine amount are relevant. 13 is when customer right is in question or right in custom is in question. 14 is state of mind, body or bodily feeling, which deals with knowledge, ill will, goodwill, etc. 15 facts bearing question on question whether act was accidental or intentional. So 15 accidental and intentional. Then 16 existence of course of business when relevant. Then it comes admission. It starts from section 17 to section 23. 17 admission defined, definition is given. 18 admission by. There are 4 types by whom it can be made. First of all, party to the proceeding or his agent, which is PA. Second one is suitor in representative character, R. Third one is party interested in the subject matter, I. Fourth one is person from whom interest derived, D. PARID, parid. This is the mnemonic. Then comes 19. Admission by persons whose position must be proved, say, against party to the suit. Okay, position. Just picking the keyword position. 20. Admission by person expressly referred to party by party to suit. Person expressly referred. 20 is person expressly referred. Reference is express, not implied. 21. Proof of admissions against person making them and by or on their behalf. Against persons making them. Proof. 21 is proof of admissions. 29 is oral admissions as to contents of documents are relevant. Contents of document are relevant. Okay, 22. 22A, oral admissions as to contents of electronic records. These two are much similar. One is document, another is electronic record. These two deals with oral admission and oral admission as to content of one document and another electronic record. 22A. Then 23, admission in civil cases when relevant. 23 civil cases. Keep that keyword only. Then from 24, these are different, like 24. Okay, this is relating to confession. So first one is confession caused by inducement, threat and promise when irrelevant in criminal proceeding. I'm making the mnemonic ITP. Inducement, threat and promise, 24. Confession to police, 25. Confession by accused at custody in police. Difference between 25 and 26 is that 25 to police, 26 is while in the custody of police. 27 is how much of information received from accused may be proved. As per 27, if there is any discovery, then the admission, then the confession is relevant, admissible. 27 is exception to 25 and 26. Then 28, confession made after removal of impression caused by inducement, threat, promise, relevant. There is some connection or link between 24 and 28. 24 and 28, because in 24 the impression is removed, but in 24 there is inducement, threat and promise. 29, confession otherwise relevant not to become relevant because of promise of secrecy. So promise of secrecy, confession admissible and relevant. In case of promise of secrecy, it is different from 24, which is inducement, threat and promise. Then 30, consideration of proof, confession affecting person making in this other jointly under trial for same offences. It talks about joint trial of same offences. 31, admission not conclusive but messed up. It's just a statement and this statement is enough. So I'm going to read. So let's begin. Section 5. Evidence may be given of facts in issue and relevant fact. Let's read the provision. Evidence may be given in any suit or proceeding of existence or non-existence. Suit, proceeding. Suit refers to civil suit. Proceeding refers to something criminal in nature. Of existence and non-existence. It may say it exists, it may say it doesn't exist. Of every fact in issue and of such other facts as are hereinafter declared to be relevant and no other. Section 5 to 55 declares facts which are relevant. So, there is an explanation. This section shall not enable any person to give evidence of a fact which he is disentitled. Disentitled means not entitled to prove by the provisions of law for the time being in force relating to civil procedures. This means CPC 1908. Then comes illustration. So this is the case relating to murder section 302 and their trial is going on. And the murder is by what means beating him with a club. And there's intention is also there. Intention of causing his death. So what are the facts that are in issue in the trial? First of all, A is beating B with a club. A is beating B with a club. Second, A cause is beat death, cause of death. One is beating, second is cause of death, and the third is intention to cause death. One is act, another is consequence or result of the act, and the intention. Then comes B. A suitor does not bring with him and have in readiness for production at the first hearing of the case. Suitor, that means it's relating to civil case. Does not bring or have in readiness. And first hearing, in CPC we see first hearing, right, of the case, a bond on which is realized, so there was no bone. Or he didn't bring the bone. This case does not enable him to produce the bone or prove its contents as a subsequent state of the proceeding. Other is done in accordance with the conditions prescribed by Code of Civil Procedure. So he can prove only those things as per the CRPC 1908. This illustration B is the illustration of explanation to section 5. Then comes section 6. X forming part of the same transaction. Facts which are not in issue. Facts that are not in issue. Facts. Certain facts. This is fact 1. This fact itself is not in issue. Are so connected with fact in issue, but F1 is connected with F fact in issue. As to form part of the same transaction, it is forming part of the same transaction. Are relevant whether they occurred at the same time and place or different time and place. Time and place as regards to time. As regards to place, it might be same and different, it doesn't matter. But these facts are relevant. So they are not in issue, but they are so connected as to form part of the same transaction with the fact in issue, are relevant whether they occurred in the same time or place or in different time or place, different time and place, not all. And then comes illustration. Again, the same illustration 302, beating him. Whatever said or done by A and B or the bystanders at the beating so shortly before or after it has to form part of the same transaction relevant. Said means something spoken orally by words, or done, it is the conduct. By whom, whose conduct is relevant. A, who caused a murder. B, who was murdered. And bystanders, who might be eyewitness or other people, bystanders. So shortly before or after the murder or the act. B and A, before and after, as to form part of the same transaction are relevant. Then comes A is accused of waging a war against the government of India. Okay, waging war against the government of India. 121 IPC. By taking part in armed insurrection in which property is destroyed, armed insurrection in property is destroyed, troops are attacked, and girls are broken up. The occurrence of these facts is relevant as forming part of the general transition to A may not have been present at all of them. Then comes C is about libel, which is a civil wrong, defamation called defamation. The label was contained in a letter forming part of a correspondence. Later within part is relating to the subject out of which label arose and forming part of the correspondence in which it is contained. A relevant facts stored in do not contain the label itself. Okay. Then D is the question is whether certain goods are ordered from B were delivered to E. But the goods were delivered to several intermediaries persons successively. Every delivery is a relevant fact. Then section 7, facts which are occasion, cause and effect of facts in issue and relevant facts. Facts which are occasion, cause or effect, immediate or otherwise. It might be immediate or it may be otherwise of relevant facts or facts in issue, or which constitute the state of thing under which it happened, or which is a fourth state of thing. Okay, some keywords are there like occasion, cause or effect, then state of thing under which it happened, or which offered an opportunity for the occurrence of transitional relevant illustration. So there are 3 illustrations. First illustration about robbery. Second illustration is relating to murder. Third illustration is relating to poison. The fact that shortly before the robbery B went to a fair with money in his possession and he showed it or mentioned the fact that he had it to third person are relevant. Murder, make marks on the grounds, it is the effect. Okay, so occasion, cause and effect. There was occasion. This is marks on the ground produced by struggle at or near the place where murder was committed are relevant facts. The question is its poison symptoms ascribed to the poison. This is effect habit of B known to A, which afforded an opportunity. This is opportunity for administration of poison are relevant facts. Then comes motive, preparation and previous and subsequent conduct. The conduct may be of any party or any agent to any party, to any suit, criminal, civil, proceeding criminal in reference to such suit or proceeding in reference to infect any suit or relevant thereto. And the conduct of any person an offence against whom is subject to any proceeding offence against whom. That means conduct of first of all party, then agent, then accused person. If such conduct influenced or influenced by any fact in its relevant fact, whether it was previous or subsequent thereto. So conduct means what? Conduct does not include statement unless those statements accompany acts other than statements. But this expansion is not to affect the relevance of statement under any other section. Then conduct means act and not statement. When the conduct of any person is relevant, any statement made to him in his presence and hearing which affects his conduct is also relevant. So there is a lot of illustration. First one is murder. Second one is bond and payment of money. Okay, what is in this murder? Okay, extortion of money by threatening to make his knowledge public or relevant. Then comes okay, when bond was released to be made, B required money is relevant. Poison, procured poison similar to which administered to B, it is relevant. Whether secretary document will of A, so he consulted vakils, this is relevant. Accused of crime, what is there? Destroyed or concealed evidence, it is in case of evidence. Okay, destroyed or concealed evidence, prevented presence or procured absence of persons who might have been witnesses, suborn persons to give false evidence respecting are relevant. Then comes relating to robbery. Police are coming to look for the man who robbed, so this is relevant. And he ran away, this is relevant. And widow owns rupees 10,000, so I advise you not to trust A who owns rupees B to 10,000, this is relevant. Committed crime, absconded, this is relevant. Accused of crime, okay. Concealed, absconded, relevant. Ravished, she made complaint relating to the crime, the circumstances under which the terms in his complaint was made, and relevant. Okay, without complaint, not relevant, but the in declaration or section 157, corroboration. Then comes robbery. Done. Okay, no more I guess. Then comes section 9, facts necessary to explain and introduce relevant facts which support or rebut an inference suggested by fact in issue. Explain or introduce a relevant fact which support and rebut inferences suggested by a fact in issue, relevant facts, or which establish the identity of any thing or person, then identity of any thing as well as person whose identity is relevant, or fix the time and place where any fact initial relevant fact happened, or which with the relation of parties by whom any such fact was transacted insofar as it is necessary for the purpose. The illustration is will. Then the database property of his family at the date of his will may be relevant. Libel, disgraceful conduct. Be affirms the materialist to be libelous is true. The position and relation of the parties at the time when the label is put may be relevant. Then the particulars of dispute between A and B about the matter unconnected, not relevant. Accused of crime, absconded, relevant under section 8. The subsequent conduct, the fact that at the time when he has his then and grave business at the place to which he went is relevant, tending to explain the fact that he left home suddenly. Details of the business are not relevant. Contract of service, okay, inducing contract of service. So a service says I am leaving you because we made me a better offer. This statement is relevant. And in case of theft, as B says as he delivers it, A says you are to hide this, okay, this statement is relevant. Then comes riot, the cries of the mob are relevant. Then section 10, things said and done by conspirators in reference to common design, where there is reasonable ground to believe that two or more persons, for conspiracy some elements are important, two or more persons conspired, made an agreement to commit an offense or an actionable wrong. It may be thought also that is actionable wrong. So anything done or written by any one of such persons in reference to their common intention after the time when such intention as persons attained by any one of them is relevant against each of the persons believed to be so conspiring, as well as for the purpose of proving the existence of conspiracy, as for the purpose of showing that any such person was a party to it. Then illustrations are what? Reasonable for existence believing that conspiracy to wage war against the government of India. The fact that B procured arms in Europe for the purpose of conspiracy. A collected money in Calcutta. D persuaded persons to join conspiracy in Bombay. E published writing advocating the object in view in Agra. F transmitted from Delhi to G at Kabul money which C had collected at Calcutta. And the contents of the letter by H giving account of conspiracy are relevant. Both to prove the existence of conspiracy and to profess complicity in it. Though he may have been ignorant of all of them, and though the persons by whom they were done were strangers to him, and though they may have taken place before he joined the conspiracy or after he left it. Then comes section 11, plea of alibi. Facts not otherwise relevant become relevant if they are inconsistent with faction is relevant facts. It themselves or in connection with other facts make the existence and non-existence of any fact and relevant fact highly probable and improbable. So illustration, the question is whether he committed crime at Calcutta on a certain day. The fact that day he was in Lahore is relevant. The fact that near the time when the crime was committed he was this distance from the place where it was committed. That would be highly improbable though not impossible. This is important. Highly improbable though not impossible that he committed is relevant. The question is whether he committed the crime. This crime circumstances are that A, B, C, D and every fact which shows the crime could have been committed by no one else that it was committed by either B, C or D is relevant. Then comes 12, suit for damages or fact and to enable court to determine amount are relevant. It's only in case of civil suit. 13, right or custom is in question. Transaction by which facts are relevant. Any transaction by which right or custom is in question. Created, claimed, modified, recognized, ascertained, denied or was inconsistent. Okay. CC, created, claimed. C2, modified, recognized, asserted, denied. Modified C2MREAS. Created, claimed, modified, recognized, asserted, denied. 6 words. C2MREAS, inconsistent with its existence are relevant. Particular instances in its right or customers claim, recognize, exercise, or in its the exercise of disputed, asserted, departed from. Claim, recognize, exercised, disputed, asserted. Claim, recognize, exercise, disputed, asserted, departed from. That. Last one is that and CRE, credat. CREDAD. Credat. Then comes edit conferring the fishery. So illustrations, the question is whether A has a right to fishery. Edit conferring fishery in A's ancestors, a mortgage of the fishery by A's father, a subsequent grant of the fishery by A's father, irreconcilable with the mortgage. Particular instances in which A's father exercised the right in which the exercise of the right was stopped by A's neighbor, a relevant fact. This illustration is very nice and very important. A fact showing state of mind, body, bodily feeling, mind and body both are included. So what are intention, knowledge, good faith, negligence, rashness, ill will, goodwill towards any particular person, showing the existence of any state of body or bodily feeling are relevant. Then when such body or bodily feeling is in issue or relevant. Facts showing the existence of relevant state of mind must show that the state of mind exists not generally but in reference to the matter in question. So of course in reference. Previous commission by the accused person is relevant, and previous conviction shall also be relevant. PC, PC, PC square. Previous conviction and previous commission. Illustration: receiving stolen goods, knowing them to be stolen. Position of many other stolen is relevant, standing to show he knew each of them. Okay. Fraudulently delivering another person a counterfeit coin. Counterfeit. He was possessed number of other counterfeit coin. Same thing. He had been previously convicted of delivering other person a genuine counterfeit coin, knowing it to be counterfeit is also a conviction. Damage done by dog B, which we knew to be ferocious. The dog previously beaten several persons relevant. Acceptor of bill of exchange. A had accepted other bills in the same manner before they could have been transmitted him to the P. Okay, if P was a real person, is relevant, showing that they knew that the P was a fictitious person. Defamation. Okay, imputation intended to harm the reputation of B. The fact that previous publication by A respecting B, showing ill will if the part of it towards previous publication are relevant. Anything previous is relevant. No previous quarrels between, it is also relevant. Fraudulently representing B that she is insolvent. The fact that a representative is solvent, she was supposed to be solvent by his neighbors, persons dealing with him is relevant. Even representation is good faith. Accused of dishonest misappropriation. Fact that public notice of the loss of property given is relevant. Shooting with intention to kill. In order to show an intention to affect a case having previously shot, we may be proved. Sending to training letters. Previously sent letters. Guilty of cruelty. Expressions of the feeling towards each other relevant. Caused by poison. Statements were made by A during his illness as to his symptoms relevant. A cell at the time of insurance of the life was affected. Okay, negligence. Lot of illustrations, not possible to read all the illustrations. Accidental intentional 15. Accused burning house. Several houses successively burned. Relevant. Entries. Particular he has received less than what he received. Fairment is book or false, is a false and in his case favor. Alright. Fraudulently delivering the counterfeit repeat. The faction after delivery delivered counterfeit repeat to CD in other persons. Relevant. Existence of cautious presence relevant. Particular letter was dispatched. Ordinary course of business. It happens to relevant. In due course was not returned to him. Then admission. Section 17 admission. Admission defined. An admission is a statement or a documentary contained in electronic form. It is a statement, not document but statement. It may be oral, spoken, documentary, in the written form also, or in the electronic form, which suggests any inference as to fact in issue or relevant facts. Any inference, any connection as to fact in issue or relevant facts, or which is made by any person under the circumstances hereinafter mentioned. Person, section 18. Circumstances, section 19 to 30. 19 to 30. So admission by party to as I have already read in the index, party, agent may be authorized implied or expressly. Admission, suitor in representative character. Okay. Statements by party interested in the subject matter. Interest may be proprietary and pecuniary interest. Then from whom interest derived. or admissions. Then comes 19. Position must be proved, whose position or liability necessary to prove against any party to the suit or admissions if such statement will be relevant. Okay, these two lines are important. Then move to the illustration. It's relating to collecting rents. So A undertakes to collect rents for B. A collects rents. B is the landlord. LL. B sues A. Then B sues A for not collecting rent due from C to B. C is the tenant. A denies the rent was due from C to B. The A statement by C that now here Mr. C will make a statement that he owed B rent as an admission. It is the landlord. And are relevant against A. If A denies that C did owe rent to B. Done. Very easy example. 20. Person expressly referred. This is enough. Then comes illustration. The question whether a horse sold by B to A was sound. A sold a horse to B. The question was whether the horse was sound. A says B, go and ask C. C knows all about it. This statement is admission. Then 21. Proof of admissions against person making them and by or against, by or on their behalf, or representative in interest, but they cannot be proved by or on behalf of a person who makes them or by his representative in interest except in the following cases. At admission, dying declaration, statements of existence of body, mind and body relevant or an issue accompanied by conduct rendering its falsehood improbable. Admission may be proved by or on behalf of a person making it if it is relevant, otherwise than an admission. But it is proof of admission against person making them and by or on their behalf. Okay, and their following circumstances will be relevant between third person under section 32. So making if it is of such a nature that will that. Then statement showing existence of state in mind or body, and if it is accompanied by conduct rendering is false or improbable, section 14. 32.1. Then a statement admission may be proved by on behalf of a person making it if it is relevant, otherwise then as admission. Uh, 21. Section A. The question between A and B, whether certain deed is or is not forced. A affirms that it is genuine, B that it is forced. A may prove a statement by B that deed is genuine and B may prove a statement by A that deed is fraud. But A cannot prove a statement by himself that the deed is genuine and B cannot prove statement by himself that the deed is forced. That means A can prove the statement by B that the deed is proved, B can prove the statement by A that deed is this or that. So what is the heading? Proof of admission against person making them and by or on their behalf. Against person making them and by or on their behalf. Quite complicated. Then second one is a captain of a ship is tried for casting her away. Evidence is given to show that the ship was taken out of her proper course. A produces a book kept by him in the ordinary course of his business showing observations at least to have been taken by him from day to day and indicating that the ship was not taken out of her proper course. He may prove these statements because they will be admissible between third parties if he were dead under section 32 clause 2. This is an example also I can give. A is accused of crime committed at Calcutta. He produced a letter written by himself letter written by himself and dated at Lahore on that day and bearing the Lahore postmark of that day. It is Ali Beggars. The statement in the case of letter is admissible because if A were dead, it would be admissible under section 32 clause 2. A is accused of receiving stolen goods knowing them to be stolen. He offers to prove that he refuses to sell them below their value. He may prove this statement to they are not their admissions because they are explanatory of conduct influenced by fact in issue. is accused of fraudulently having possession of counterfeiting goods which he knew to be counterfeit. He offered to prove that he asked a skillful person to examine the coin, and he doubted whether it was counterfeit or not, and that person did examine him and told him it was genuine. A.M.A. proved this facts for reasons stated in last preceding illustrations. Then 22. Oral admissions as to contents of document are relevant. Oral admission as to the contents of document are relevant unless and until the party proposing to prove them shows that he is entitled to give secondary evidence of the contents of such document. This is the condition. He is entitled to prove secondary evidence under the rules in upfront content unless they are genuine of document for this in question. Then comes 22A. Oral admission electronic record. So contents of electronic record are not relevant unless genuineness of the electronic record produced is in question. If it is said that whether it is genuine or not, only then it is relevant. Admission in civil cases. In civil cases, no admission is relevant if it is made either upon express condition that the evidence of it is not be given or under circumstances from which the court can infer that the parties agree together that evidence of it should not be given. Nothing in this section shall be exempt, like taken to examine a barrister, pleader, attorney, or vakil from giving evidence of any matter of which they may be compelled to give evidence under section 126. Then comes the confession part. Confession caused by inducement, threat, and promise when irregular in criminal proceeding. Making appears to the court have been caused by inducement, threat, and promise. Okay. And it is proceeding from a person in authority and sufficient in the opinion of the court to give accused person grounds which will appear to him reasonable for supporting that they will making it gain advantage or avoid an evil, of temporary nature in reference to proceeding by him. 3 points are important. First one is three words: inducement, threat, and promise. ITP. Then proceeding from person in authority. PIA, person in authority, and it is sufficient in the opinion of the court. And then the person will gain advantage, either gain advantage or avoid any either, not either. Gain advantage or avoid evil of temporary nature. So these 3 lines are important. Confession to police not to be proved. I think 3. It is inserted by 2000 Act 21 of 2000. 1. What is 1? Confession to police officer not to be proved. Okay. Confession by accused while in custody of police not to be proved. Same thing, unless it is made by magistrate. 164. CRPC is an exception. Magistrate does not include the head of a village. It is not magistrate. Okay. How much information received from the accused may be proved. If there is any discovery in consequence of the information received from the person while the person is in the custody of police, so much of the information, whether it amounts to confession or not, both, it relates distinctly, may be proved. Okay. 26, 27, 28. Imprisonment after removal of impression caused by inducement, threat, and promise, relevant. That's enough. 29. Confession otherwise relevant not to become relevant because promise of secrecy. It is a confession is otherwise relevant. Okay. Does not become relevant merely because it was made under promise of secrecy. Secrecy, deception practiced on the accused person for purpose of obtaining when he was drunk, or because it was made to answer on questions which he not have answered. Okay, not or because he was not warned that he is not bound to make such confession, or that evidence of might be against him. Done. That's enough. Consideration of proof confession affecting person making it jointly under trial for the same offense. When more persons than one are being tried jointly for the same offense, 3 conditions: 1 plus person, TJ tried jointly for same offense, SO, TJ SO, 1 plus TJ SO. Any one of such person affecting himself and some other person is proved. The court may take into consideration confession against such other person as well, against a person who makes such confession. An offense includes abatement, attempt, both abatement as well as attempt. Illustrations: A and B are jointly tried for the murder of C. It is proved that A said B and I murdered C. Okay, A is on his trial for the murder of C. This is evidence to show that she was murdered by A and B, and that B said A and I murdered C. This statement may not be taken into consideration by court against A, as B is not jointly tried. Okay, jointly trial is a requirement. Admission not conclusive proof but messed up. That's all. So statement by persons who cannot be called as witness. This is dying declaration.